Hello! I hope everyone's having a good fucking day, and I stopped listening to DSBM, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why I made this decision, because I feel like I have never seen anybody really touch upon this subject. As you could probably guess, I do have a trigger warning for this video, and that is gonna be self-harm and suicide. With that being said, let's get into it. For those who don't know what DSBM is, it stands for Depressive Suicidal Black Metal, which is a subgenre of black metal that's characterized by its extremely melancholy sound and atmosphere that it creates. The guitars are very slow and heavily distorted, and there's often very ambient sounds in the background as well. The vocals are shrieking and high-pitched and sound like somebody's in real agony. Another characteristic of DSBM is the lyrical content, which discusses topics of depression, grief, anxiety, self-destructive behaviors, self-harm, suicide. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get into my actual thoughts. I was drawn to DSBM because of the sound originally, but it grew repetitive for me over time. When I was listening to it, I started listening to it because it was extremely therapeutic for me to listen to when I was in an extremely bad place mentally. It often really helped me get my emotions out without being destructive or self-destructive. Once I started to get into a better place mentally, I was listening to it fairly often still, and was at first not really having an issue. But over time, I noticed that it was starting to make me get really stuck in my depression. It was making me bed rot a lot, like room collecting up trash, food, the whole works. Not only that, but it was also keeping me from creating content, and at one point, I was going weeks without posting. There are also a couple of problematic things about the DSBM scene that really aren't talked about that much. Not necessarily the music or anything like that, but I mean like the people in the scene. The elephant in the room would be the DSBM subreddit. You know how you have all of the other subreddits that are black metal that have the memes and just people really sharing music, opinions, stuff like that. On the DSBM subreddit, the most popular thing is people posting photos of their fresh self-inflicted injuries. Some DSBM bands do tend to promote these kind of behaviors, but they do it for their image. They don't do it because they genuinely want people to be doing that kind of stuff to themselves, you know what I mean? It's extremely concerning that kids are hurting themselves because of this music and taking these bands' gimmicks seriously. Being self-destructive isn't a part of any aesthetic or subculture. It's extremely fucking damaging that people are trying to spread that it's cool to do these kinds of things and glorifying mental illness. Not to mention all the kids that think that Life Lover and Psychonaut 4 are the only DSBM bands out there. I still respect and appreciate DSBM and the people that do listen to it. I just personally don't really like it anymore and can't listen to it because of my mental well-being. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. What other metal shit would you like me to talk about? Take care of yourselves. All links are in my bio. And goodbye and gatekeep.